I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast, Lessons of Life. And today we're going to talk about practical matters in life. God is the Word, and the Word comes to life. So it's good to know the words you're talking about. The word today is practical. Okay. And practi means being of action, doing. And then all is the state of being, the state of being and doing. You're doing something. Now, we put a different nuance on it today, but that is what it is. It involves action. So there are practical things you can do in life, understanding that it's all God. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you take that stool softener, you know it's God doing it. This is all a placebo. Everything here, okay? Because you can't see his light or it would burn you. Okay. And the final prophecy of Daniel is coming true where we become one rock, the rock, okay, that smashes men and their shenanigans. Okay. And we're just one rock. Basically, that means returning back to how it was in the Indus Valley before, men started thinking they got to take things and stuff, and that they had to have, a medium of exchange and that kind of thing. It's not how it was back then. We make this stuff, we've got extra, you want some here. What do you have that's extra? You can send it here. Instead of it rotting on your shores, you can send it here and we'll send our stuff here, depending on what your stuff was. Okay. So frankincense and myrrh and the living cane, which is marijuana, these are all good things. Okay. Wine is a good thing. These are things that help heal you. These are things that help relax you. Okay. And every part of the plant can be used, and you can look this up. Okay. Science has verified it. All right. This has been known throughout the ages. This is nothing new. It's just you can verify it with science now. Right? So verified. There you go. And verified means it passes Karl Popper's scientific method. It does it every time. So these are the things like castor oil. And what men do will take castor oil, which always works, dilute it with a bunch of other stuff, patent that because it's not just castor oil anymore, which cannot be taxed, only the additives. Okay, and then they patent it, and now it can be taxed. And now they can claim profit off it for X amount of years, and they can patent it, that kind of thing. We want what's pure, and true. So you can take things like parsley and make it into a mush or even a juice and add it to your castor oil and put that in with some cream, lanolin, and make yourself a really nice, skincare product. You can use vinegar and baking soda to wash your hair and rinse it. Gives you the perfect pH balance. You can take aloe vera and strip off the bark of it and use that to help with burns. So any kind of burn, sunburn, got burned on the stove or anything like that. This will help heal it. The gel especially is thick of it. There's a plant that grows everywhere You can probably see it in the cracks of the sidewalk or in the cracks of your driveway. It's called purslane. You can eat that plant. You can take the leaves and note that when you break the leaf off or the plant, there's no milky white stuff. Okay, it's clear. If it's milky white, that's bitter. All right. So purslane doesn't have that. And it has more omega-3s than anything out there, including fish oil. So if you have been told you need to take fish oil, you need more omega-3s, you need to eat more fish, and you really don't care for all that, go put some purslane leaves in your salad. You can put it in your dinner. You can put it, you can cook it. It has a lemony taste to it. It's really nice. You can eat it raw. You can eat it cooked. Okay. And the other thing to get into a habit of is resting. Okay, resting. Like cold starch is better for you than hot starch. So if you make a pot of rice and immediately eat that pot of rice while it's hot, you're not capable of taking in all the goodness that it has. It's not in a form that you can ingest it and take it. So what happens is it turns into fat. It stores it so that when you need it later, it's there. So the way to counter that is to make a pot of rice and let it cool in the fridge overnight. Okay. And then you can heat it up and use it for dinner. You can make stir fry. You can make cold salads with it. The same for potatoes. Okay. If you bake some potatoes or fry some potatoes or something, do it partially and then you let them cool completely, right? And then you refry them. Now all that starch has changed and it's now kicking off stem cells to regenerate in your body and it starts taking that fat. Okay, that belly fat, that visceral fat that just won't seem to go away. It takes it. Okay, and pass it out through your body. There are lots of practical things out there. You can basically have one citrus tree, for example, and then graft any other citrus onto that tree as it grows and gets bigger. It can all use the same root. Okay. And you can literally have a tree that's blooming basically all year long with citrus, lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges, tangerines. You can put all these onto one root system. Okay. It is the same with nuts. You can do that. It's quite possible. It has been done and it's being done all the time. Growing herbs is a good thing to do because every herb has a benefit to it. And you can ferment, which is what you need to be doing is fermenting. Fermenting is the yeast getting in there and making it come alive, okay, and changes it. And the yeast is in the air, okay? You don't have to add yeast, it's just there, it's in the air. So you can take garlic and smother it in honey, unfiltered raw honey, and just keep burping that jar, once a day for a couple of weeks. And then you just keep turning it. Okay, you turn the jar every day. You're going to see bubbles and stuff. And eventually that garlic is going to become black as if it was cooked. Okay, and this is when all the true great benefits of that come. And you can get benefits from the honey or from the garlic itself, and it's It's quite delicious. It's wonderful, but it's now been transformed and put into a position where you can actually ingest it and use the benefits of it instead of it having to be stored somewhere else until you need it. So this is, recognizing the nuances in food, hot, cold. It's the same with your shower. Let's say you take a hot bath and then you turn on the shower afterwards, wash your hair, rinse. You've had this wonderful hot shower and bath. Now turn it to cold water and start off with 30 seconds, but you want to build up to longer periods of time and take that cold splash, okay? And this tightens everything up and gets it going, okay? It's literally saying, okay, stop cooking, rest. Okay, now it's going to rest. So these are different things that once you understand how important rest is and relaxing, you cook your meal, for example, in the morning, and then you put it in the fridge and let it cool and rest all day. They'll say, let the flavors marry, and yeah, that's what they're doing. They're getting together, they're changing. Okay. It's literally changing. That's why it tastes better the next day. Okay. It always does. But if you can cook it in the morning and then let it rest, and then when you reheat it, it's already in a digestible way for you to take in all the nutrients and everything that you read about that's in there. There's all kinds of things that the chemical industry and the food agricultural industry have deemed as weeds and need to be gotten rid of and that kind of thing because it doesn't benefit them. And if you're taking it, it doesn't benefit them, okay, because you're benefiting yourself. And they don't deny it, they just don't bring it up, okay? They bring up their products. They want you to buy from them. Okay, so to know that, you need to just look at what's around you in your yard and start looking them up because they all have benefits. There's always something with some good in it. All right. Now, you have to take what a lot of they say with a grain of salt. You know, castor oil, for instance. You can take a little of castor oil. You can ingest it. It's really for your skin and your pores on your skin. It goes through them, and that's how it gets inside you. Okay. It goes through those pores. Foot care is very important because the largest pores in your body are the soles of your feet. So you want to, keep them clean, do your best. And it's nothing wrong with these products. Okay. It's God. God's in them. God's in every one of them. God is everyone and everything. Everything. And you just think it's inanimate. No, everything is breathing. Okay. And you just need to understand it's all nothing. There is no cause. There is no effect. It just is. So we tend to say it is what it is. Okay. Basically blowing off, acknowledging we see that and blowing it off, whatever it is. You don't go to the doctor for prevention. You go to God for prevention. Okay. And during the day, you're being a mortal being. Okay. You got to let go sometime. You're a mortal being. You have to be practical. You're in the land of mortals. Okay. Who have limited thinking. They all have a blind side and a blind spots. Okay. But together, they don't. If they come together, and the powers that were, they're falling apart now, know that, and they have been trying to get them to unite under a cause of fear. But too many people have grown and know there is no cause, there is no effect, unless I make a cause. You don't want to do that. You ain't gonna live it. And that ain't no fun. Okay? It's not. Experience teaches you that. It's never fun. Never. It's never satisfactory. It's never. And you don't listen to a bunch of whining bullshit like you get on Twitter with constant, you know, bitch, 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 moan, 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 a bunch of point of view. I don't care. Sounds like a personal problem to me. And you don't want to engage with them. Really going off to be alone, you're leaving them alone. Okay? There's a whole nother world out there of people who love Jesus Christ, whether they realize that's their own true self or not. Church can be social for you, but you have to understand you're not buying that dogma. Okay? I'm not buying that shit because that causes problems. Every religion is a point of view, it's dogma. Okay? To be a true Christian does not mean you're Catholic or Protestant or any of those other things. You're a Christian, period. Jesus Christ was very clear about this in the Bible and about what happened to him. You know, he denied their dogma. He said they were a den of vipers because they were trying to get people to give to them and they were forcing it on him. Oh no, you can't be saved unless you do this, that, and the other. You know, you're a den of vipers. Fuck you. And that's what that's about. Okay? That's what got him killed because he bucked the system. And the secular system that was in charge of Rome refused to murder him. They saw no wrong in what he was doing, washed their hands of it. It's up to the people. Okay? It's up to your people. And they got him riled up and said, kill him, kill him, kill him. Okay, they killed him. As long as they believe that lie, they're still waiting on a Messiah. It became dogma. It's dogma, right? We don't listen to dogma. Islam is dogma, okay? It's a religion. You can't say Jesus Christ is the Savior in one breath and that he's not God in the next breath. Conflict, dogma, religion, okay? Catholics, sorry, they're the worst, okay? They are. You have to go into this box and talk to our priest, and you have to say these prayers before you can even take communion, before you can even try to be saved. And you have to eat our wafers, and we're not going to give you any wine because we don't do that. Okay? That's for us. That's for us. The priests up here. See us? We're drinking it. You're not. You see, you see, you see how this is? God works in mysterious ways. So he showed you they're corrupt. There's a bunch of pedophiles in the Catholic Church. He shows you Islam's corrupt. They just want to tear people apart for their own personal pleasure, what they think that's going to be heaven. You know, they're not all like that. That's how it always is. Okay? But as long as the dogma's there, that belief, be aware, conflicts will happen. Okay? And you're saying, oh, well, it is what it is. Water under the bridge. We're not going to talk about religion. Okay? And that used to be a standard known. You don't talk about money, politics, or religion, period, when you're out and about in public. It's none of your business. It's personal. Okay? It is what it is. It's none of your business. Now, you can see that search engines and Google and AI and business and industry want to be up your ass sniffing your farts. They want to know everything you're doing because they're trying to figure out what to sell you, okay, to get you to do what they want. I've messed with it. It can be fun. You got certain things in your pantry and you don't know what to make for dinner. Throw that in there and it'll give you a recipe. Okay, that's nice. All right, but you don't go to it for actual research or information because it'll tell you what it wants you to hear, what some programmer said. Okay. And this is very apparent when you ask it about climate change. It's going to keep throwing studies at you, and you're going to spend a lot of time training it. No, empirical data only. No, that's an opinion. That's no studies. No, 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 no. Only truth. Okay. And is it worth it? I'd rather be walking my dog if I'm going to be training something. Okay. I don't want to be inside training some machine. Don't care that much. And they come out with these more invasive policies that we can take over your cameras and stuff while you're not logged in, but your computer's on. Well, that's an easy fix. Okay. And let me tell you, I know I'm a network engineer, certified. All right. In Microsoft and Novell. I'm also certified by Intel, Dell, Compact, and several others. All right. That was my gig, my thing. I was into that. And I'll tell you the best fix. Unplug it. Shut it down and unplug it. If you're not using it, you shut it down and unplug it. And for a phone, that means shut it down and take the battery out. Okay? You don't need it. You're sleepy. You don't need it. You're eating. And you're going to watch a movie and you don't need that. Okay? You can see the double-mindedness. You turn on something to watch on TV, yet you're scrolling through your phone the whole time. You might spend a moment checking something out on the TV, but then you'll go back to your phone and scroll some more. No. Okay? If you're going to watch a show on the television, you shut down the phone, take the battery out, and watch it. Your messages, your missed calls will be there when you put it back in. Okay? You were busy. It's okay. So I hope this helps. You can find lots of things to grow that will constantly grow and feed you. Mulberry bushes if you want berries, and doesn't have to be strawberries or blackberries or blueberries. It can be the other berries. There's a million different berries. Gooseberries, they're delicious. And here in Texas, we have what's known as the dewberry. Now, the dewberry has a lot of thorns. So you got to protect yourself when you go pick dewberries. But they're basically on every roadside. And in every little field and little patch of woods, you can find dewberries. It's nicer when you have a mulberry bush. And mulberries can go everywhere, so they should really be in a big planter. Okay, so they don't go all over the place. And you can have that. You can have hundreds of pounds of berries. You'll have so many berries, you'll be giving them away right and left. And that was the idea, the original idea. Okay, we get together, we take what we need, we give the rest away. Okay, we threw the net out for the fish. You took the big fish that you needed, and you put the rest back. But that's the lesson in the Bible. Okay, so somebody else can come along and those little fishies can grow and there'll be plenty for all. There's always plenty for all. Okay, regardless of what they say. They're liars. There's enough food thrown out and rotting at the bottom of the Amazon floor to feed the world twice over every day. Really, when you go out to dinner, there's people who will advertise an experience and they're putting little flowers on it and all this. I'm sorry. I want an experience of abundance, that there's plenty and it's tasty and delicious. I don't really want it to be that pretty that it doesn't sustain me, and I feel like I need a hamburger 30 minutes after my $200 fancy meal. It just doesn't work for me. I don't want to pay for that kind of experience. Now, there's people who do go for it, but there's more people that just want sustenance, and that's what matters, So there's all kinds of things. If you have any questions, I can give you what I know about it, because my mom was a health food nut before there were health food nuts, and there's a million of them. One of the greatest things you can do is like broccoli sprouts. Just sprout them, okay? When it's too hot, you can sprout them inside and throw those in your salad, throw those in your soups, and then let it cool. Okay. Stir them up a little bit and then put them in your salad or soups or whatever and let it cool. They will just be wonderful. And this is true of all foods. Okay, all foods can't really benefit you unless they rest. And then you reheat. And now you have it in a form that's easily digestive, and you can get all the good that's out of it. One last practical matter that's kind of, we'll call it weird, is taking a poop. Okay? Thank you for my empty bowels, my clean heart, my clean bowels, my clean heart, my clean hands. Okay? And we made these thrones, and we call them that. I'm going to the throne, you're going to the bathroom. And you'll sit there and your legs are in the wrong position. Be ye like little children. What do little children do? They squat. Okay. You pull your feet up onto the toilet seat. You bring your knees together. Now your rectum and spine and everything are aligned. And it just falls out, baby. Okay. No straining. As long as you're straining, you're going to have the hemorrhoids, you're going to have all that other stuff. And you're only doing it because they said this is the civilized way of taking a shit. No. I decide how I take the shit. The civilized thing is there's these pipes with water and stuff that wash it away. So I don't have to smell it in my house. And I don't have to have an outhouse that I go to. Okay, that's in the cold rain or heat, and it stinks to high heaven. No, okay. And the way the outhouse used to be was you'd use it one season, and then you moved the little house to a new spot, and you would cover where the old spot was with dirt and stuff and plant your garden. Okay, plant something there. It's rich in nitrogen, your pee, and all the bacteria and stuff that bring the worms and stuff. Your poop, manure. Okay? You're a creature like any other creature. Your poop and pee isn't special. It's poop and pee. So I hope this helps. And, it's all good. All you gotta do is say the word. Go be by yourself, and don't worry about it. There's a being, our Father, bigger than we are, ineffable. And just as he's ineffable, so are you. No one can define you except you, because there's no real definition to you unless you choose. Okay, that's the free will choice. If you let God be in charge, he's just going to take you to the perfect pattern of a man. And that's okay. God's perfect. He's the perfect engineer. He's the perfect designer, perfect architect. You can see that. So let him do it. And just know there is no cause and there is no effect. God's in charge, and this is all God. So there's no cause and no effect, and oh well, it is what it is. Water in the bridge, not going to think about that, and it's all good. It really is. And remind yourself every day, in every way, it's getting better and better. It is, because you said so. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me.